All right, it's time to break down the film one scene at a time. Act 1. Why don't we set some shit
Our
up?
colorful ADHD jaunt into the DC universe begins with the Teen Titans' signature joke per second formula and introduces us to the team, which consists, of course, of the minor and totally forgettable characters of Robin, Starfire, Cyborg, Raven, and Beast Boy, who are based in Jump City, which I don't know what's that supposed to be. Is that supposed to be next to Metropolis, or
I don't know. I don't have a lot of DC knowledge, so I'm
is
sure
Metropolis
nerds
supposed
will
to be New
mad.
York and Jump City's like New Jersey?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah. We'll go with that. Yeah.
Or it could be near Gotham, which is like
Detroit.
Chicago.
Like Detroit, Chicago.
Chicago. For some reason, my mind always conflates Detroit and Chicago. I don't really know why.
Pretty much the same place if you really think about it.
No, not at all. Jump City, though, has the great slogan of safer than Gotham, which I noticed that little joke.
Yeah. There's a lot of that in the background.
Yeah, a lot of background jokes. If you really go through it, they spent a lot of time on adding those little details, which is
A lot.
nice little thing to add for the people who are forced to watch this fucking thing multiple times in a row.
It was like a restaurant called the Rorschach or something. It was pretty fun.
Yeah.
What's up, Doc? And it's Dr. Manhattan with bunny ears.
Oh, I didn't even see that one.
Yeah.
That's great.
There's a lot of nice Easter eggs in the background.
Yeah.
I feel like Cyborg is now more of a mainstay character, like at least in the Justice League.
Yeah.
But that might just be because they put him in the new Justice League movies that are coming out, or that came out and were coming out.
I mean, I think he also got because the actor got a lot of goodwill after the fact of what people had heard he had to go through with working with Joss Whedon and having like a lot of his role minimalized and cut out of the Justice League movie. And
Pretty much all of his role cut out after you watch the Snyder cut.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I have always, since I was a little kid, absolutely fucking hated Cyborg as a character. I just never liked it. I don't know why, but yeah, I like Starfire and Raven and Beast Boy and Robin, but Cyborg
I just don't think anybody's really told a great story.
No, even in this show, he's like the joke character.
Yeah,
you
he's
know?
a big character. He's
just
a
a joke.
slapstick guy. Yeah.
I mean, they're all just jokes nonstop,
Yeah.
but Cyborg in particular, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. At least for all his faults, Zack Snyder tried to actually kind of highlight him a little bit. It seemed like, and give him a bit of humanity to his character.
The film immediately sets the tone of being super vibrant and comedic, which is typical of the Teen Titans Go series from which it originates, which is a favorite of kids, teens, and man-children everywhere. Bronies. Let's just be honest. Let's just be honest.
We're doubling down. Fuck it. We double down.
The first fight we see is with some sort of giant balloon man. I'm not up on my DC comics since, aside from Batman, they haven't really made anything decent in like 30 years. So I'm not sure if this is a real character, what his actual character name is, or if he even exists outside of Teen Titans. I have no idea.
I don't either. I don't know.
I don't think so.
Given, well, I mean, everything else seemed to have been at least a bit from something in DC, so it's probably a character in something that's a joke that they just highlighted as a, intro villain.
Well, it's funny, like when they pop him, he just turns into this little tiny balloon man. So, is he normally that? The Titans show up and slow down the balloon man by poking holes in him, which leads to like a minute-long fart joke. It's just every one of these animated films has had a fart joke of some sort, or a butt joke.
Well, this one has lots.
This one's got lots of fart
Tons.
jokes. And poop jokes and everything in between. And when he doesn't know who the hell they all bust out into a theme song, which explains all of their powers individually, which I think is the Teen Titans Go theme song, because they use it twice in this.
I think it's new for this movie. At least
That was it.
the episodes I watched of Teen Titans Go, the show, didn't have them, but I only watched early episodes.
It's just like Teen Titans Go, Teen Titans Go.
Something like that, yeah.
Just like that, yeah. Bulba Man walks away while this is all going on and steals like half the city, which leads to the actual Justice League showing up and saving the day since the Teen Titans are too goofy and immature to get the job done, which is the continuing theme throughout the movie.
He also calls them the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Funny.
Guardians of the Galaxy. This leads to the only reason we're talking about this thing. Nicolas Cage is Superman, and a few of I think it's just Green Lantern and Wonder Woman show up.
Wonder Woman, yeah.
To tell the Titans they'll never get their own movies since they only make movies about real heroes. And then he calls them goofsters. Which, if it didn't come back later on, I'd be like, that's a Cage ad lib.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that just feels like Cage just throwing shit out.
Yeah, that
You
feels
guys
like a Cage insult for kids.
Yeah, that feels like something he would have said to Kal-El, right?
Yep.
And that they will only ever be seen as jokes. Meanwhile, the teens make nonstop slapstick jokes the entire time, confirming Superman, Wonder Woman, and Green Lantern's point. Yada, yada, yada. The main conflict in Act 1 revolves around the Titans' desire for recognition as legitimate superheroes. None of this was written by ChatGPT, by the way. Despite their efforts to protect Jump City from various villains and threats, they are constantly overlooked and dismissed by both the citizens and the Justice League. This dynamic sets up Robin's central motivation throughout the film, which is the desire for a movie that will prove their worth as superheroes, but slowly devolves into Robin being a little attention-seeking whore who shits all over his friends the moment he gets a chance at fame. At a Batman Again movie premiere, which is a great name for the movie. We see a movie director named Jade Wilson show previews for upcoming movies about Alfred, Batman's butler, the Batmobile, his utility belt, etc. Basically, every inanimate object from the Batman universe gets a movie before Robin, which isn't far from the truth.
They made an Alfred TV show.
They just made a fucking Penguin TV show, too.
Yeah, and the Penguin got a TV show.
I heard that Bane and Deathstroke are also going to get their own show or movie as well.
I mean, they're both more interesting than Robin, so
yeah.
It makes it's funny. That's one of the things that I liked about this movie is they get it. Like they're making fun of themselves in a way that's, they get it. It's a joke. Make fun of Robin.
Yep.
Yeah. Baby hands.
Yeah.
Everyone laughs Robin out of the theater, including Superman, who you can just kind of hear him like calling him, he's just a sidekick. There's only like 10 lines from Superman at all, but they're all fairly solid.
Yeah.
The Teen Titans all reassure him that he's a true hero and the reason that they're all alive and happy and not on dying planets and whatever other origin stories of those characters that I don't really care to look into. But Robin isn't satisfied, saying they need an arch nemesis in order to be taken seriously. Seconds later, we're introduced to Will Arnett's character, Slade, who for some reason can't be called by his actual name, Deathstroke, in the Teen Titans. Quick fact, in the comics, Slade's supervillain name is Deathstroke. This name has never been used in a Teen Titans cartoon, though, because it was decided that a character with death as part of their name should not be in a children's cartoon. However, he was referred to as Deathstroke in Lego DC Comics superheroes The Flash. An animated movie that was also marketed to children, which was released a few months before this movie.
And they joke about him being Deadpool. So they say Deadpool.
They say Deadpool, but you can't say Death.
Deathstroke. It's weird. They also kill a tiger. Like they run over Michael Bolton tiger.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, they also kill baby Aquaman.
Nah, they don't. They save him in time.
They do.
They would have.
No, he dies, and then they go back and save him. They
come back
him.
and save him.
Yeah.
And then they kill Bruce's parents. So a lot of confliction here,
Slade apparently has the power of mind manipulation, which he uses for a ridiculous effect in this scene, but later uses it to brainwash everybody on Earth, pretty much. aside from the Teen Titans. Anyways, he steals a crystal of some sort that he'll use later in the film to amplify his powers. Quick fact, the Teen Titans keep referring to Slade as Deadpool throughout the movie. Slade's alter ego in this movie is Jade Wilson. Deadpool's name is Wade Wilson. And Deadpool was created as a parody of Deathstroke originally from Marvel.
And Deathstroke's name is Slade Wilson. So
yes.
Yeah. Which he jokes about. I mean, they say it in the movie. He's like, I was made before Deadpool. He ripped me off.
Yeah. Which is true.
Yeah.
They all ripped each other off.
Yeah.
I was watching Across the Spider-Verse, and the Spot is basically a Rorschach ripoff. It's basically the same character, but with slightly different abilities. Anyways, this sets the stage for the Titans' quest to convince a Hollywood director to make a movie about them. All this despite the fact that none of the other members of the Titans care about having a movie made about them and are constantly reassuring Robin that he's a real hero and has nothing to prove to anyone, even going so far as to making a movie of their own about him using stop-motion cardboard animation.
South Park style.
Yeah.
Act 2, The Conflict.
Robin gets upset by the incredible gesture his friends made for him since it's not a real movie. So they head to Hollywood after an upbeat, inspirational song about life, which reinvigorates Robin. Also, they run over the singer of the song, who is a flamboyant tiger, played by Michael Bolton.
Yeah, shit like that. I liked it.
It's got some moments, yeah, for sure.
The kids aren't going to get that. It's for the adults. I mean, they'll get funny that he ran over the tiger.
Inspirational song about life.
When they slow down the jokes, great. But when they are pummeling you in the face, that's great.
I think his dad's a cop. Let's run.
That part did make me laugh. At Warner Brothers Studio, the Titans encounter Jade Wilson, a famous and influential director who has the power to make their dreams come true, and apparently is the only director that exists in this universe. Also, she never once has a crew of any kind, but I guess that's not really suspicious. Just ignore
I think it's funny that it's just her and Robin on a soundstage making his entire movie.
Yeah.
Later on.
The Titans attempt...
Which isn't suspicious at all to Robin, I guess.
He doesn't know how Hollywood works.
He's never been in a movie.
Yeah. Just CGI and everybody else in the movie.
Yeah.
I guess.
The Titans attempt everything they can think of to impress Jade and convince her of their superhero credentials, but the Titans face competition from other, more established superheroes who already have their own movies. Yada, yada, yada. This rivalry adds a layer of satire to the film as it pokes fun at the superhero genre and the film industry's tendency to churn out sequels and spin-offs and nonstop drivel like the DCU. Also, Stan Lee shows up for a second before realizing it's a DC movie. Aside from the Marvel joke, I'm sure he was disgusted to be a part of the smallest DC production since DC has churned out wall-to-wall shit for 15 years. Quick fact, Stan Lee makes his first and only cameo in a DC movie as he passed away about 4 months after the release of this film.
Yeah. First, last, and only.
Yeah.
I guess it makes sense in this one, though. Like,
yeah. At least it was in a decent DC movie.
Yeah, it wasn't in Aquaman or something.
Or Batman v Superman.
Wonder Woman 84. Justice League.
Oh, Petro. You can't make... Every movie
Blue
can't be a
Beetle.
blockbuster. Look, I'm supposed to be the target demo for that, and I want nothing to do with it. I don't want to sit there and watch 2 hours of George Lopez going... I can't even do it, dude.
It's like the Hispanic Oliver Platt.
It's so accurate.
Yeah, it is. Jesus. Anyways, after another song where Robin dreams about having his own movie, Jade Wilson says she'd only consider making a movie about Robin if he had an arch nemesis or if every other superhero that existed suddenly just disappeared. So, the Teen Titans, who are the good guys we're supposed to be rooting for, remember, decide to use some of the time machine big wheel stuff to snuff out every superhero out of existence. Or I guess save them from the tragedy that made all of the other heroes into superheroes in the first place. It's kind of depends on which character they're going after.
I will say that the songs are all pretty good, pretty solid.
Yeah. They did a great job with the music.
Did they do music in the TV show like that?
From what I watched, yeah.
Really?
Like it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they make up songs. There's songs in like all of the
Yeah, I think so.
Teen Titans stuff.
But I don't know. I didn't watch a lot. I only watched the first episode.
Yeah.
Because my daughter wanted to keep watching superheroes, so I put that on. And the first episode is a parody of Star Wars and Star Trek, and has Weird Al voicing Darkseid. So that's the kind of tone that the show goes for. That I was really surprised that you watched the very first episode of the show, and it's basically the same tone as the movie was 8 seasons later. So they know what they were doing.
They maintained it throughout.
Yeah.
No. I didn't really love them the first time around, I will say, the songs, but I actually really liked them the second time around when I was doing the breakdown.
Yeah. Well,
Also meant that I could just skip like 5-10 minutes of the movie.
Yeah. But I mean, that says something. You know how to compose music, so have some appreciation for the good job they did.
Yeah, solid stuff.
They start by saving Krypton from being destroyed, then kill Aquaman with some of those plastic ring things from a 6-pack. They stop the Wayne family from going
Kill
down.
Aquaman as a baby, by the way.
Yeah.
As we've said before.
Baby.
They murder a baby.
Baby Aquaman. Then they stop the Wayne family from going down Crime Alley, et cetera, et cetera. But when they get back to the present, they find out there are now only villains who are destroying everything. So they go back and undo everything they just did. So I guess the whole point of that sequence was just the joke about killing baby Aquaman, really.
Solid joke.
Quick fact. Young Bruce Wayne in this scene is played by Nick's son, Nicolas Cage.
Which
First
is
and
funny
last.
because he's named after Superman, and his dad is playing Superman in the movie, but he plays Batman.
Yeah, so when I read the credits, I got confused, and I was like, oh, he played baby Superman? I'm like, that's kind of cute. And then I was like, wait, baby Superman didn't have any lines. He just made baby noises. And then I was like, oh, it says baby Bruce or young Bruce Wayne. Okay.
And twerked, yeah.
You better count that nudity, by the way.
Is there nudity in it? Is there
Yeah,
nudity
the
in it?
baby
It shows
butt.
the baby butt.
Yeah.
But it's
A lot.
I know you don't
Like they
count
zoom
animated
in.
nudity, but
yes, but I did count Ant-Man
Bully?
or Ant Bully's butt.
yeah. So you better count it in this because
So
it's
all right,
another
you
baby's
gotta count
ass.
the baby butt.
Gotta count it. All right.
I never thought I'd say those words in my life.
Gotta count that baby butt.
God, I hope my neighbors can't hear me as they walk past the window.
I think at this point, almost the majority of male nudity in these movies have been from children now.
God, sometimes I really wish that we had never started counting nudity because
Every time
it's
we
just
do
getting
that section,
creepier
I
now.
wish we had never done that fucking joke.
Let's just skip over that. Ugh. Anyway,
All right. Once they fix their reality, we see Slade Stroke breaking into some sort of lab where he charges up the crystal he stole in Act 1. Slade, of course, represents Robin's ideal nemesis, a formidable opponent who could validate Robin's status as a hero. So he becomes obsessed with stopping him to prove he's worthy of a movie. Unbeknownst to the Titans, Slade has a hidden agenda to use his mind control device disguised as a movie projector to take over the world. Wow, look at they sync up so perfectly. Okay, I do kind of like how they just beat you over the head, which is how nonsense this whole fucking premise is. Robin's single-minded pursuit of fame and glory puts a strain on his relationships with his teammates, who begin to question Robin's motives and leadership when Slade gets away. After escaping, Slade makes a plan to divide the Titans, and suddenly, out of nowhere, Jade Wilson is super into the idea of making a Teen Titans movie. Unfortunately, she gets upset when every member of the team besides Robin poops in a prop toilet, and she tells Robin that they're going to be big stars as long as the other members of the team don't get into any more shenanigans, which they immediately do, including prank calling Superman to steal craft service food.
And
Lois,
they beat up
baby.
Shia LaBeouf,
and they beat up Shia LaBeouf,
who was voiced by James Arnold Taylor.
who apparently they tried to get Shia LaBeouf and he didn't want to. He was like busy or something
In rehab.
I think he was actually supposed to be in the movie, and then he pulled out, and they had to reanimate the face to make it not Shia LaBeouf.
But they kept the joke.
But they kept the joke. I don't know.
I mean, it's a funny joke, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just like when they find out he's actually Shia LaBeouf, they just start beating him harder.
The non-Robin members of the team tried to destroy a rocket-looking thing with the words Doomsday Device written on it, but are stopped by other real superheroes. Jade fires the teens after they spray kryptonite in Superman's face, prompting Robin to say, "Why did you do that? He's a national treasure." Get it? Because it's Nick that plays Superman, and he was in National Treasure 1 and 2. You guys remember those films?
Unfortunately.
Jade says the Doomsday Device the Titans try to destroy is actually a device to beam movies directly to every screen on the planet, and Doomsday is an acronym that I'm too lazy to write out. She tells
I forget
Robin
what it was, but it was like really complicated.
Yeah,
and I was like, no, I'm not going to write that out.
She tells Robin she now plans to make a movie all about him instead of the Teen Titans, since they're all a bunch of immature doofuses, and he decides to ditch the team, who have stood by him through everything since they make him look like a joke. He excitedly starts working on his superhero movie, since being a famous movie star is worth more than friendship, but he gets sad when he starts thinking about his Teen Titan pals. Jade Wilson convinces him to film the final scene of the movie. Anyways, this all turns out to be a ruse to get him to break into the Teen Titan vault and return the crystal to Slade, who has been pretending to be Jade Wilson this whole time. Death Slade reveals his diabolical plan, which was to get all the other superheroes to make movies instead of fighting crime, so he could steal valuable pieces from their cities to construct the Doomsday Device, which he plans to use to stream to every device in the world, brainwashing every person on Earth to do whatever he wants.
Act 3. Time to resolve some shit.
Slade Pool blows up the Titans hangout, and Robin realizes the error of his ways and what a dick he's been to his friends. Once he narrowly escapes the crumbling building, he calls the Titans to assemble, or whatever they're allowed to say, and they show up seconds later to immediately forgive him. The Titans head to Hollywood to face off against Slade, but he fires up the Doomsday Device. The device affects everyone on Earth, including all these superheroes in the audience, which strangely not one of them has resistance to mind control. Feels like that should be in the power set of at least a couple of them in there. But anyway, the only people aren't affected are the Titans because they didn't look at the screen. There's nobody in, like somebody wasn't in the bathroom or something coming in late. That would have been a funny joke.
I mean, if you go to the bathroom, you're looking at the phone. You know,
that's true.
That's just how everybody is nowadays.
Yeah. And this ragtag group of D-list heroes now has to battle an army of superheroes that are all under Slade's control. The Titans escape the might of every superhero on Earth by jumping into a golf cart, blowing up all of Batman's vehicles one by one, and then sending all the heroes into a portal of some sort of limbo dimension.
Constantly used joke of like portal.
Yeah, like Raven has the power that can solve pretty much anything that they run into.
Pretty much,
and then they do. They just use it in everything.
Yep. Oh, because I keep forgetting about that. Yeah, let's do it.
Just send them to a different dimension.
Yeah.
Which I thought was pretty funny.
That other superhero group that they steal the seats of in the first premiere, that was apparently a real comic that existed before the Fantastic Four, but was sort of Stan Lee's idea, like originated from that group for the Fantastic Four.
Yeah, they're all just ripoffs.
Yeah.
They all rip each other off.
What was that? The challengers of the something?
Challengers of the unknown, I believe. Yeah. Yeah.
I feel
Fantastic
like DC
Four
fans
before
or
the
somebody
Fantastic
would
Four.
really love that joke. It went over my head, but I got the joke was that they were an old group that was forgotten, and then it was funny. And they kept
they were
shitting
more
on
important
them
than
the
the
rest
Teen
of the
Titans.
Yeah. Well, yada, yada, yada. The resolution of Act 3 revolves around the Titans' realization that being a hero is not about having a movie or fame, but about doing good and making a positive impact on the world, you know. This theme is underscored by Robin's character arc as he learns to prioritize his relationships with his teammates over his own ego and ambitions. The final confrontation with Slade starts with Robin taking him on solo, but he gets his ass handed to him since, of course, he needs the team to succeed since friendship and teamwork and all that jazz, you get the picture. Also, all Robin seems to do is fire a grappling hook. And once Slade just cuts the grappling hook, then it's like, oh, he's out of tricks. Yeah. He has not batarangs that he throws, I guess. But
Robberangs.
Robin is brainwashed by Slade since he can't help but watch the movie about himself. But the Titans remind him how much they all care about him by showing him the rest of the stop-motion movie that they made for him, which brings Robin out of the trance. And as a team, they battle Slade, who is now on a giant mech robot suit of some sort, which I also think was a funny comic book meta commentary of just throw a giant CG monster battle at the end of the movie. Out of nowhere. Even though it actively messes the pacing up and ruins the movie. Shang-Chi.
Or name every DC movie. And a handful of Marvel ones at this point. Yeah, too. Yeah.
He calls them all jokes again, and Robin says he's right, but he's proud to be a Teen Titan since it's their goofiness that makes them all great, and they use the power of song to defeat him. They sing the same theme song again, describing all their powers, but this time they actually use their powers as a team.
I loved, this song actually kicked ass when I came in. The second time around.
It was pretty good. With their powers combined, they become Captain Planet. Actually, they probably would make that joke, but they didn't. But you could see them. They would do it. But anyway, they don't. I mean, they slowly beat the robot down and they blow up the magic crystal thing that was brainwashing everyone. Once released from the dark dimension, the other superheroes are all impressed with what the Titans did, and Superman says, I guess you weren't such goofsters after all. The other heroes all clap for them, and the Titans, at long last, feel the validation they craved. Oh, and they also set up a sequel that became Teen Titans Go versus Teen Titans in the credits that thankfully Nick Cage wasn't in. The end.